When I arrived in the village, we were all walking on the boardwalk together, and I had just had so many different emotions. I was thinking so many different things. All the houses are all super close to each other. It's this tiny little village in the middle of nowhere, and you look out beyond the village and you don't see anything. It's endless land, endless grass, endless water. It is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
It is often said that journalists have a backstage pass to life. They're granted access to moments and places most people never see. In that sense, perhaps journalism is not just a profession. Perhaps it's a lifelong invitation to see behind the curtain, to understand the forces that shape our world, and to share those truths so others might see more clearly too. There is a high school broadcast journalism program in Southern California that takes this concept to the next level. Whether it's discovering the horror of the Holocaust while making a film in Germany and Poland, or learning about hunger in our own communities, or even exploring the science of life-saving medical advances, Carlsbad High School's broadcast journalism students have embraced the concept that they, indeed, have a backstage pass to life. And sometimes that backstage pass means stepping out of our comfort zone.
We're a little more than an hour away from traveling to Kotlik, which is on the shores of the Yukon River in the Bering Sea. How are we going to get there? We're about to find out.
The flight here to Kotlik, Alaska was something I have never seen ever. We took a small plane from town to town and we landed with beautiful views, beautiful just everything. It was so cramped yet so freeing.
The flight in was incredible. We had ended up taking 4 planes to get here from San Diego. It was a few layovers, and it took us in total 2 days to actually get here. And it was just beautiful views as soon as we land in Bethel, and from there it was just flying in and flying over the tundra.
After their 2-day journey up to the Yukon River, the Carlsbad broadcasting students will spend the next 10 days working in this isolated Yupik village. Sharing their love for storytelling, these 2 groups of young people who come from very different parts of the world will soon discover that they do, in fact, have a common bond.
Carlsbad is here to teach us how to become better broadcasters. They're here to help us learn.
One of the main reasons we're actually here is to help teach the broadcasting students here how to use a camera. And so what we're doing right now is we're walking around the village and we're just finding beautiful shots to help them build an intro to just make their show that much better.
While Kira, Vance, Phoenix, and Ashton worked with the Kotlik students inside their classroom, the real magic occurred while exploring the Kotlik village, where they found some of the most memorable stories.
Most of the size can feed our family for a year.
Subsistence is a vital way of life for this Yupik community.
When they become older, they rely on themselves for their own food, which I think is very interesting.
Eating what they hunt, and that's how they survive. It's really interesting because they skin the moose, they cut it up, seals, birds, swan, geese, all these kinds of animals. I was even learning from someone that they give the animal water right after they kill the animal as a way of respect.
That sense of respect can be seen throughout the village, and it was most evident in the way that elders are looked up to.
They have to hunt for themselves, they have to do everything themselves, they have to build the houses, they have to do all these things for themselves. One thing I really noticed this week is that the kids, they love to respect their elders, and the elders give back to them by sharing their Yupik culture.
That's the way how we were raised, to help elders growing up, help older people than you growing up. If they need help, if you see they're having trouble.
It's morning rush hour in Kotlik.
In the morning, everyone, and when school gets out, all of the parents are driving in on these so-called Hondas or 4-wheelers with at least 3 to 5 kids, all hanging on by a thread, just sitting on the front, on the back.
Everyone is driving on their Hondas, or also known as ATVs, riding around, coming into school, blazing through the boardwalk, kids hanging on the back, maybe like 5 or 6 kids. It's really fun, and they're all on their way to school.
The Carlsbad students, in addition to their work with the Kotlik broadcasting students, were busy during their visit as they produced stories for their own live broadcast back in California. Each day, Carlsbad High School's live broadcast would feature segments about this indigenous community. Ashton's story was about the village elders. Vance covered the Yukon River and erosion that could affect the residents' food supply. Phoenix described the flight into Kotlik and the Yukon tundra below. And Kira took a look at the high cost of food in the local store.
First off, we got Cora talking about Alaska. What else?
Thousands of miles away, an entire high school community was learning about Yupik culture through our camera lens.
The kids here are arguably my favorite part. They're so nice, so welcoming, and they just love to have fun. And it is so wonderful to just walk around with them and hear them just yelling our names and really just want to have fun with us, play with us, and come hang out with us.
Hanging out with the kids, it's just really good. I really like hanging out with them. They're really fun.
I really fell in love with all the younger kids and all the elementary kids because they're so sweet and little, and they'll take your advice on anything. And I try giving them the best advice that I possibly can.
Please watch me on YouTube, like and subscribe.
It's really interesting talking to these kids because they all come from different backgrounds.
They're a lot tougher, like the kids, because they don't get babied as much. They're really strong. I just think it's really cool. They're raised a lot differently, but I think it's honestly better maybe. I think it brings them a sense of respect and pride for themselves, and it makes them stronger people.
All totaled, a team of 8 people made the trip up to Kotlik. Craig Glenn was one of our chaperones and our official photographer. Natalia Ustova was a chaperone extraordinaire, and she made some deep connections with the Kotlik residents. Recent Carlsbad High School graduate Race Gruskin is working on his own documentary film, and program founder and longtime broadcasting teacher Doug Green rounded out the team of 4 mentors. And it was an all-hands-on-deck experience, and one that we will never forget. On this day, when the school was short-staffed in the kitchen, Natalia and Craig stepped in to prepare both breakfast and lunch for the entire school.
I think we will need more eggs. Maybe.
Working in such a small village has really taught me that everyone has a story, and that even the people you wouldn't expect have something special to share with everyone.
We take things for granted back in Carlsbad, and they don't here, and they live with what they got, and they're just as happy as we are, if not more.
When I come back and telling people about this experience, it's going to be difficult because so many things have happened here that have just given me a greater appreciation for life. Seeing how people grew up was so much different than how I grew up, but so amazing in such an interesting way. I've found so many stories here, and I can't wait to share those stories with so many other people.
I'd like to say thank you. I mean, I'm really grateful for just coming out here, meeting you. I'm definitely gonna miss you guys. You guys are strong, and I'm proud of you guys.
As our time in Kotlik comes to an end, we wonder how we could ever really describe our experience up here. Living in an Eskimo village for 10 days has completely opened our eyes to a culture that is so different and yet so special. An isolated village on the banks of the Yukon River. A village with no restaurants, no movie theaters, no law enforcement, no fire department. Seeing the kids play with handmade wooden boats in a puddle in front of the school reminds us that material possessions don't always bring happiness. The kids here have taught us that lesson, and we will miss them. Thank you, Kotlik. We will never forget you.